Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Bloody Good Horror for the new year. My name's Eric, and I'll be your host for this evening, where we will be reviewing Night Swim. It's about a pool that kills people, John, in case you were wondering. Joining me tonight, first up from the Bay Area of San Francisco, please welcome Matilda to the show.
Hey.
Next up from Indiana, please welcome Casey.
Hello.
And last up tonight, you notice that, John? Lastly tonight, from Manhattan, New York City, please welcome John Schnorrs to the show.
Death Pool.
That's right. Doesn't it really feel like a concept from the 80s of a silly movie that they made serious with like modern, like it reminded me of like, what's a deathbed? The bed.
That's
that
what
eats?
I was thinking.
Yeah.
The bed that kills or eats. Yeah.
I mean, we're doing the review right now.
Or
This
like
is the
Blood
review.
Diner.
Review
Like,
over.
I liked that about it. I don't know. John, we're here to continue our Sisyphusian task of watching all the horror so that you don't have
Is
to.
that what we're doing? There's so much now. It's like, you know, democratization of
We can't
distribution.
possibly
Yay,
keep up.
but like,
Yeah.
yeah, we, you know. But the theatrical stuff, here we are.
We used to be much more completist than we are now, and then we all got
We,
old.
I would actually argue we actually get to all the theatrical stuff, or like 93%.
Yeah, most.
Yeah.
The stuff worth seeing, I think.
Yeah, we haven't had as much to go to the last year or two.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah.
It's been a weird couple of years on Earth,
Yeah.
generally. I'm sure that affected it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything's fine in John's world. All right, so let's take a quick break and review. Oh my God, I blanked. What's it called?
Night Swim.
Night Swim.
Swim night.
This is it, Jennifer. There's big breaking TV. From the prime time. Main feature.
It's been a minute on the show since I completely and fully forgot the name. All I could hear in my head was Deathbed. So
That means
Yeah,
it
I
has
mean-
you.
Yeah,
it's true.
that's appropriate, actually, yeah.
How you doing these days, John? It's the new year.
It's a new year. I don't know. The weather sucks. How'd you do with that storm,
is this
man?
depressed, John?
Did you get the snow? You got some snow, I imagine.
Yeah, we got 6 or 7 inches on Sunday, and then
Yeah.
a couple more last night. But then it started raining, so it's kind of washing away.
It's a slop fest. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm fine.
I
I
do have
saw
good
Night
news.
Swim in the middle of the day, so that's cool.
I like that. I like that. We have an announcement that we're gonna make.
We're doing it right off the top.
No.
Let's go.
This is
we're
what we in the industry call a tease, John.
Okay, I
Tease
see.
it for later.
Tease. Sit tight.
So get ready for that. All right, John.
Try not to hurt yourself.
Please bring us the word of the day.
Eric, today's word is drench.
Oh,
Drench. D-R-E-N-C-H. Drench. As a verb, it can mean wet thoroughly or soak. It can also mean forcibly administer a drug in liquid form. I did not know. But yeah, there you go. Drench, forcibly administer. It can also, as a noun, mean a dose of medicine administered to an animal.
wow, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. So it comes to us from the Old English drenken, which means forced to drink. So I guess the forcibly administering the medicine was kind of the original definition, and here we are.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I learned something here tonight. Thanks, John.
I aim to please.
Why don't you tell me about Night Swim?
Night Swim comes to us from a little horror production outfit you all may have heard of called Blumhouse. It was so James Wan, also here as producer, And so maybe I think we talked about Blumhouse and James Wan's company, Atomic Monster, are now sort of one company, but both are credited here. I sort of assumed this was being developed under Atomic Monster, for however long, and then sort of came under the Blumhouse umbrella when they merged. It is from a writer-director, Bryce McGuire, who I believe this is his first director full-length thing. He's done some shorts. He did a thing that's part of an anthology. And in fact, this movie came out of a short that he did in 2014. There's a co-writer, Rod Blackhurst. So that's the crew. The story here, we've got a family of 4, Ray, Eve, Izzy, and Elliot. Ray, the dad, is a former professional baseball player, who is dealing with an MS diagnosis, and they are trying to figure out where they're going to live, and sort of they're moving to the Twin Cities area, I think for medical treatment reasons. And so we see them initially, they're looking at renting a house, and then they see this house and it has a pool. They didn't know it was a death pool, unfortunately, but it was. We knew because the movie actually opens with a death pool sequence, and so yeah, I mean, that's the setup. You've got these 4 people. They're living in a house. Spooky things begin transpiring, all of which center around a pool. They could just not swim in the pool, but they don't do that.
Pool's real enticing, though, John.
They do choose to swim in the pool. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of other stuff we can get into. It is a spring-fed pool. Greatest cameo of a horror movie in quite some time. I don't know if you all clocked the pool man, as the main character from High Maintenance, the HBO show.
I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
Eric.
Oh my gosh.
When we get off this here podcast, you are going to need to go, and you're going to need to go watch High Maintenance immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, my current obsession is I think you should leave.
Oh my
I'll
God.
I'll talk about that later.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was, who loved that show was one Joe Charnes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was,
we'll get Bono
he
over
was on that pretty early.
I think it might be the best thing ever made, John. I don't want to speak to
Eric, where were you when that show came?
you know me, I'm stubborn, John.
All right. Well, so High Maintenance is another one that I actually think really, really enjoy. He plays the weed delivery man, who is unnamed. He doesn't get a name in the show. He just, every episode, delivers weed to somebody different, and it's about their
That sounds kind of cool.
weed usage, basically. But
I haven't
he
seen
gets,
this yet either. I need to watch.
Oh, hijinks.
It's
Hijinks
great.
ensue. Yeah, it's really good. In any event, he's the pool boy in this, or the pool man.
Great. In
and
any event, he's a completely unimportant character in this movie.
I was just so happy when I saw him. I was in the theater, yay, pool guy. I should know his name. He's been in other stuff. But, so yeah, spooky things. Evil is afoot. Evil is in the pool, it turns out. I don't know. We
Love
can
it.
start there.
All right, Matilda, what'd you think?
I think I wanted to like this one a little bit more than I ultimately did. I wanted to like it. I was in the big Dolby IMAX type theater that rattles your seat and the whole thing. I thought I was gonna, and it looked like it was gonna be silly fun. It's a pool that kills people. What's not to like? But I think there kind of isn't enough here for the material of. It's scary to learn to swim when you're a kid. Pools are scary. People can go under and you don't notice. There's all this stuff about swimming as a kid, and it doesn't quite go far enough with that, and ends up in the kind of suffering from some of what I think is the PG-13 horror things, which is heavy on the family drama of alienation and heavy on the jump scares. And I just wanted a little bit more from it, I think.
Casey.
This hasn't happened in a while, but this movie made me grumpy. I did not like this much at all. I found it kind of boring and very flat. There is a lot of magic discovery going on here where there's zero effort as they uncover the mystery of what's going on with this haunted pool. I mean, at one point, we watched the mom in this movie go from learning the name of a ghost kid to uncovering the entire mystery within like 5 minutes of movie time. And it was just, and it was a moment of my favorite part is she sits down at the computer, types in the name, and all of a sudden she knows like 7 generations of families that have dealt with this pool and tracked down the etymology and where this all started. And that kind of writing, this movie had potential. Like Matilda, I was hoping it'd be silly fun. It's a murderous pool. You expect some shenanigans, but there's nothing going on here. It's just completely flat and zero depth. And I'm going to be honest here, outside of Monarch, I don't know that I'm a big Wyatt Russell fan.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I thought this movie was very bad. Like it was worse. It was much worse than I was expecting for primarily the reasons that Casey is hitting. Like the script is nonsensical at a level that like we've covered a lot of these types of movies over the many years. It feels like we haven't covered one that's quite in this niche, which Matilda, you mentioned. It's PG-13. It's sort of like generic-y possession nonsense going on. Like to me, this is like super watered down Poltergeist remake. You know, and like the pool piece actually makes it worse because, and Casey sort of hit on this, like the rules are very unclear. Like the pool can like move things that are in the house that have water in them, I guess. But like, and like it can make you see things that are like the mom is swimming and she sees Wyatt Russell. But like, why? You know, like the one, I don't know. There's like 2 or 3 scenes that were just kind of like, what the fuck? Casey, you mentioned the pool cover thing. Like,
Yes.
why? Like the girl. So there's the daughter. There's this sequence where like the pool cover is closing itself and the daughter is trying to like wheel it back and she can't. But then the mom comes and they are able to wheel it back. So it's just like, if you're like, slightly
Ghost
stronger,
was slightly more than child strength.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like what, you know, like so like the dad would have been like no problem one-handed. Like it's shit like that where you're like, wait, what's happening now?
That's
but
really funny.
I did text Eric and Schnars during the movie last night, but how does the magic water roll up the pool cover?
Yeah, it's, I mean, whatever it is. I didn't want to be like super nasty about it, but like it's really pretty bad. Like it's just that I was surprised. I was expecting more. The one thing I should say, and then Eric, I'll stop and you can talk. I thought James Wan was the director of this movie.
I did too until the opening credits. Yeah.
And so, well, I didn't even clock it during the opening credits that he wasn't. So I'm watching this movie and I'm like, wow, James Wan, like really,
no, you can tell it's
really
not
what
lost
happened.
his step. Like, what is going on? It was also like so weird to me. I'm like, why did he make time to direct this?
Even if it was like the really terrible directing, which it's not, like he's got flair. Even if he's making a bad movie, it's got personality to it. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna, John. I got the first twist of 2024 here. For
I know.
You.
I knew
kind of liked it. I'm kind of into this movie. To quote our friend Rachel, it's a good sit.
It was under an hour and 40 minutes.
We saw so many
you weren't
movies
sitting that long.
at the end of the year. We saw so many like harrowing movies at the end, like just art house and like elevated horror and subtitles and like just like crazy shit. This is just easy to sit through, John, and that's that's the best thing I have to say for it. It felt to me like it's like Stephen King light a little bit. Like there's just something about the story structure that made me feel like this is a person who really loves King and is trying to create a similar kind of like people story that King would wrap the horror around, right?
Yeah.
And I think what it does well is like, okay, like your mileage on Russell can vary, but the fact that he's a baseball player is actually important and thematic to the whole story, right? Like that's where sometimes I think these generic-y things fall flat. Is like it's there, but it's not important to the horror or the story. Whereas here, it's all kind of like tied together, which I liked. I like him here. This actress that plays his wife, I actually really like her, and it took me a couple of minutes to place her, but she was on Better Call Saul. And it's cool because she plays a character that sort of like existed in the Breaking Bad universe, but you never saw, like very specifically never actually saw or heard her. So then they cast her in Better Call Saul. I think she's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here because she's just very charismatic, I think. as an
Oh,
actress.
she's the whole movie, like
Yeah.
the mom, for sure.
Definitely. And I like the setting, like it's kind of a weird off kilter like California house. There's some weird like the whole pool area. There's like this weird elevated deck thing and like
Well, it's in the upper Midwest where I don't
it
I
felt
guess,
very California to me.
I
So
mean,
I'm sure
they could have shot
there.
it there
Yeah.
for sure,
But yeah, I don't know. There's a weird thing that I liked about it, which is like it does feel like a concept of a cheesy 80s movie that then somebody made serious in modern day.
But to
and like
me,
I
that's
kinda
the worst part.
I enjoyed it. I liked like it's not that scary, but a couple things got me. And I really liked the sequence with the pool party. Like I kind of liked I don't know, that was just interesting the way that played out, I thought. So like I enjoyed it.
All right, so let's get, because the pool party, I would agree with you that the pool party is shot effectively, right? What I mean is there's a lot going on in that scene. You've got the son up in the house. There's like a lot of people there. The parents are doing different stuff. You're also getting like you're getting like exposition from the mom talking to people in the kitchen while action's happening in the pool. There's also, at this point, the pool's evil. So like you're sort of there like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Here's my thing with the pool party. What we know at the end of the movie and the sort of, I mean, whatever, we're going to spoil, like, I'm just going to talk, but like the end of the movie asks that what you are asked to believe or accept in the reality of this movie is that the pool can cure or like grant wishes. It's like it's a wishing well is like what they refer to it as. But to do that, it has to like take a life.
Yeah, it's like, isn't that kind of what the box is about? I mean, I know the box is an adaptation of like
I can't.
like it's kind of the same thing. They're like, press this button, you get rich, but somebody you don't know will die.
Yeah, but this
a
is
more
like
specific
somebody.
version.
This is like your family member. You got to like basically trade it. No, but where I'm going is in that sequence at the pool party, he's like drowning this boy, but he's also drowning himself. Like what is happening
Okay.
in the universe
fair.
of the movie? Like
Why?
Who's supposed to die there? You know?
Yeah.
It's very. I was just like in retro. Like at the time, I was like, I don't know, that's weird. Like this pool is just like randomly killing people. But then, once it's explained what's happening, you're like, wait, why was that like happening in that scene? I don't know. So
Yeah.
that upset me.
Well, and
You know what? I did find one scene scary. I really liked when she went to talk to the lady. I love
I
it when
like
she
that.
turns and gets freaky. That
Yeah.
actress, that was a great performance, I thought.
Yeah, I like that, and I was even okay with the way they focused that scene and has shot that scene, and she had that big bubbling marble fountain right next to her, and they kept focusing on that when she started talking about that and giving it the side eye. I did enjoy that aspect of it. It was good that they gave that kind of nod to it, and that gave it that. I see where you get like that '80s feel that you're talking about, Eric, with that. It was just that, like, that's a well put together scene.
No, yeah. Well, I don't even think it feels like an 80s movie. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking like a layer removed. I just like that the concept
Yeah.
that like makes me think of that, because then it's like, and I'll buy the argument that you end up with unintentional camp potentially because of that, because because the idea is so silly and they're taking it like deathly serious. Like
It
that,
doesn't
that
really
could be a
get
good
there
film.
though. I mean, does it get there unintentionally? Maybe. Maybe 5 years from now, kids will be like drinking, at a sleepover and watching this movie. It doesn't. It never rises to that level because it's PG-13. That's like at some level
Yeah.
the problem.
I saw this. I gotta bring this up because we're talking about it. I saw this headline in the Daily Beast this morning that literally made me like. It was like, campy Night Swim is the next Megan, and I'm like, okay.
No.
First of all, Megan's like really silly on purpose.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
movie's not. It's not as good, nearly as good as Megan, but it's like what. This is why a podcast like this exists, because like mainstream critics just say anything.
Well, that also just sounds like PR nonsense. It sounds
Yeah,
like,
Right.
yeah.
you know, so.
Yeah.
Like I interviewed Jason Blum, and this is what he told me to say.
So
Yeah, basically.
you all have had some good movie comparisons or mentioned some good comparisons, but I tell you what this movie has screamed to me is somebody watched The Happening and thought that shit with the trees and stuff was pretty cool. Let's do a movie around that because it's a natural source that's killing things off. And if you remember The Happening, every time the death air started from the trees, you'd see the leaves rustle. And in this movie, every time the magic water was doing its thing, you'd see little ripples across the top of the surface of whatever water's around.
Yeah.
It's just good foreshadowing, Casey. I don't know what to tell you.
They did think, I do think that the filmmakers thought they were being clever with a lot of the like water stuff that's going
Yeah.
on here.
I liked the effect, like when they're down deep and they look up, and it looks like the surface of the pool is like way far away, like it's this little
Yeah.
tiny rectangle. Like I thought that
Yeah.
was effective.
And the mom going down to save the son with the hose and stuff, and that whole sequence where she gets lost and disoriented, that was...
I'm gonna call shenanigans on that hose situation because,
Yeah.
like, first of all, there's no way the air travels through that, right? But second of all,
She put a
It's-
knot in it!
it's tied at the top like that. Yeah.
I was fine with the hose. It's more like, can the hose go into the alternate universe? Like, these
Yeah.
are the rules where you're just like, whatever. Like, I guess.
I needed a little bit more of the like I feel like some of the most effective scares were and maybe this is just me and how I was traumatized by Flash Gordon as a child, but if you put your hand into something we can't see,
Some bad
I'm
shit's
in.
happening.
And for hair to come out of that was great. Like the hair
Yes.
horror was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
You just reminded me, this movie has... it's mostly in the first half. There are 4 to 5 shots of someone leaning over a pool. Like, it's the scariest thing on the planet. Like, oh no, she's leaning over the pool. What will
love it.
happen? Like,
love
and
it.
then they fall in, and oh, they can swim. Oh, they're fine. Like, it's okay, you know. But I mean, I agree. The hand going in, that's like a layup. You know, it's like a jump scare. And that
Yeah.
the with the hair
the
did get me.
lady in
The pool cleaner, the skimmer,
That
I believe
was
they call
freaky.
The
it.
drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
voice and like the reveal, that was really
And that was
See,
a
like,
decent...
it's not-
It was a good jump scare, too.
what I'm
that one got
hearing
me.
is you guys are coming around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, but then we get the script of it and it's so concrete. Like, my name is this and I am looking for my mother. Like, it's so-
Exactly.
it's a little like, John, you are my brother.
Isn't
you
that
know?
refreshing for a ghost to just tell you what they want and not make
Yeah.
you jerk off for 2 hours?
I guess that's
It's
true.
true. It
I-
is
Get
Get right to it.
That's the that's my biggest problem with it. Though, like Matilda says, is this script. It's very concrete, but they don't develop anything. They just state it.
Yeah.
So all the facts of what's the mysteries behind it, it's just stated. There's no discovery. There's no little hunt to where she uncovers something shocking and she, you have the trauma of that. She's just like, oh, here it is.
Well, what it does, because like Eric's point that like the ghost not beating around the bush, I do appreciate that, because there's a lot of movies that are just like,
And I hate that shit.
It-
We
well,
spend
it's
an
like-
hour trying to figure it out when we know what it is.
well, and
Yeah.
like, oh, the ghost moved a curtain, like it's sending you a fucking message. It's like, no, like just fucking, there's a message. Tell me the message. These ghosts do tell you the message, and so kudos to them.
It's also interesting because it's not just like one entity. It's like a thing that sort of like pulls all these like souls into it.
But-
essentially.
Yeah.
What it does is it puts us in the position, and it puts the movie to a certain extent in the position of like, I mean, I was joking about it before, but it's like, just stay out of the fucking pool. Like, just don't go in the pool, you know? Like, so it undercuts some of the drama, because you're like, oh, well, they're going in the
Yeah.
pool. Like, fucking bad things are going
I
to happen.
will tell you
now.
the
Like,
funniest moments is like there's a thing where, so what's his first name? Wyatt?
Ray. Well, Wyatt is his real
Russell,
name,
right?
the
Yeah.
actor's name.
Like, so his character is the one that's being healed by the pool, and so he kind of gets like addicted to it. And if he gets too far away from it, like he doesn't feel good if he hasn't been swimming. But his acting in that one, he's just like he's basically they're like act like a drug addict for the pool, and it
is good. That was the one
It's towards the end. Yeah.
intentional
Well-
camp when he's just like, maybe we can go swimming again, or something like that.
Well, also with him, towards the end they pull his son out of the pool, who almost drowned, and they're giving the son CPR. He gets depossessed. He's like, he's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
They do go with the bleak ending, or at least a little bit of a downer there. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same
I
time, that
have
payoff.
one other
there-
question.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Does no
fine.
one else in the neighborhood of this small community remember that people have drowned in this pool?
Well, and the guy.
Like,
from,
you would think this would be a famous pool.
Yeah.
Well, the pool guy
No,
said
but
that
a
all
lot
the
of the-
pools, all
but
the
a lot
pools
of
were
the-
spring fed. So why aren't they haunted?
a lot of the news clippings said disappearance.
Yeah.
That's true.
They didn't
is
say
true.
pool murder. It's like the one girl they know
Okay.
drowned in the pool.
Well, they didn't even know that I guess no, because they found her slipper. That was the
Yeah.
like, but her body was not in the pool.
Yeah,
like
that's
she didn't
yeah.
drown.
So like, I just remember seeing like disappearance when they're looking.
Yeah,
She's looking.
no,
at the
you're right.
pools.
I did like the turn on the mom too, though. When the girl from 1992, Rebecca, is that her name? The one that passed that drowned.
Yeah, yeah.
What her mom, when she had that turn, all of a sudden when the good actor, the main mom, was there talking to her, and Rebecca's mom's like, "Well, somebody had to pay." I like that turn.
So here's the question, and Matilda, I thought this was where you were gonna go. If the dad is dying at the end of the movie, whose wish is being granted?
Yeah.
Is the son gonna be like a badass like baseball player now going forward?
They said that it gives the gift and then it has to take a life to replenish itself, but then they said it goes away. It's like the Jeepers
But
Creepers.
like,
guy.
but my question is like, who got the gift? Or are you saying that you think the dad got the gift?
I think
but
he
then
already
also
did get the
sacrificed
gift,
himself?
and then
I think it's
sacrificed himself.
both him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the impression it wasn't particular. It gave a gift, so as long as it gets paid,
Right.
it doesn't really care.
We have. I would like to mention because we have it that I thought the actress that played the teenage daughter was fantastic.
Yeah.
She's the other one that really
Agree.
carries the movie. Yeah.
Agree. I thought she was really good. The son
Is she from
less good.
something? I felt like I recognized her, but I couldn't place it.
I was looking at her on IMDb, but now I don't remember.
I was
don't
like, you ever
think-
seen an actor, like a young actor, and be like, "Who are your parents?" Because I feel like I don't know you, but I feel like you have famous.
Yeah.
She's apparently in this new Hunger Games movie that just came out. So I don't know.
parents. Going
But no.
places, John. Hunger Games. Jeez.
I mean,
She kind of
We
looks like
Night
we knew
Swim.
when.
here, yeah.
She kind of looks like the gal that's the star of Lisa Frankenstein that's coming up. That's who it reminded me of, but I just seen that trailer.
I don't
before
know
the
what
movie
that
started.
is, but I just can't get over the name of it.
It's
just hate
it's
that.
Diablo
It's good.
Cody.
Okay,
And
I
Robin
just-
Williams'
The
daughter.
name makes sense then, I guess.
Yeah.
Zelda Williams.
She
So much
the
Frankenstein last year. What is going on?
it's
And
of
then
the
there's that
moment,
one
dude.
coming with.
I'm here for it.
With that other dude. There's another one.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, Del Toro's doing a Frankenstein thing.
I mean AI, and our maybe science causing the end of civilization.
Yeah.
Just as a theory for why Frankenstein is relevant again.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
That the teenage actress, she's German, born in Germany.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty good too. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, and I don't have IMDb up. But the lady that played the realtor,
She was
she's
funny.
a good comedian. She's in a lot of TV shows.
makes
Good
sense.
character actor. I thought she was funny.
Like her whole delivery on the
Yeah.
yeah, so I wasn't gonna tell you.
Yeah.
but-"
She said, I
She's
didn't
kinda like,
want
"I
to poop
didn't know."
in the pudding, which is my favorite new phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just kind of funny.
Ellie Areza, is that? I think
Yeah.
that's her. Oh no,
You know,
that's
she
the
kinda
mom.
reminded
That's the
me
mom that
of-
freaks out on him.
You know who she kind of reminded me of? Let's go back in time, John. Do you remember the Hogan Family,
Yeah.
the sitcom?
Yes. Oh wait, you mean like the reality show sitcom?
John, no, this was from like 1983. Hogan family. John,
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
starring
Yeah.
Sandy Duncan
Mm-hmm.
and a young Jason Bateman. Anyway, their neighbor, her name is Mrs. Poole. The realtor lady kind of reminded me of her.
Yeah.
It's funny. I like can't find her on IMDb for some. Like I'm not clocking her on IMDb. In any event, Ben Sinclair. He's the pool tech, the high maintenance guy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just a hero to us all.
I just
Anything
thought
else?
of that though. What I mentioned a second ago. He did make a point that said all of the pools around that area were.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? The spring-fed pool?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
is
never heard of that
real?
either.
I don't know. Maybe. Sure. There definitely are like spas that are pools that are fed from underground springs and like heated through them.
I mean,
like
I guess
that's a
like
thing.
that's what Roman.
Oh,
baths
sure,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. One other point I was going to make. I understand this movie is not Avatar 2 and that the filmmaker is not James Cameron. Some of the underwater photography, and specifically, there was one sequence that I like legit almost did a spit take. When the daughter is going to the deep water, that sequence where she's playing Marco Polo with the boyfriend, there was like some green screen action they were trying to do with the water. And it was so bad. I was blown away. Like it looked like bad green screen. And it just, I don't know. There's no excuse for that in my opinion.
Interesting. I didn't catch that. I did. There was something busted with the screen in my theater. Like it looked
Well,
like
then
it
you
had
wouldn't have caught it.
a cut or a dent in it or something. But what was happening was it then for this whole like kind of maybe like an eighth of it, it's like the angle was off, so the light wasn't hitting it right, so it was darker than everything else. It was so.
Were you at
distracting. Oh my
Were you at
God.
the what's it called, the spooky mall or the?
Yeah, I was at the haunted mall.
Yeah. Okay. That place. I mean, the theater I was at it's the closest one to my house, and it is. They gotta tear it down.
Like I
can't
want you to
believe
visit
they
here,
still.
John, just so I can take you there.
All right, one day.
We can throw pennies into the empty wishing fountain that's there.
Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna say. I did like another argument for sort of the rationality of this film is that the mom does empty the pool, like
At the end, yeah.
Yeah.
but like she does the thing, whereas like as soon as she realizes that it's a threat, and we were joking like just stop fucking swimming in the pool, she does empty it, and then it like magically refills, but not with dirty water. It refills with like pristine normal water, which whatever, that's a whole other
Yeah.
question mark. But I like that the mom, took action.
Me too.
I found the realtor, by the way. Her name is Nancy Lenahan, but she has been all over TV. She's been in everything from The Great Outdoors, Catch Me If You Can. She was on Drunk History.
Oh, I recognize her now. Yeah, now that
Yeah.
okay. Good times.
All right. Would you recommend Night Swim, Jonathan,
Absolutely not.
Casey,
No.
Matilda?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I'd hoped it would be good starter horror, but I don't think so.
I'm going to say yes.
You counterintuitive bastard. Are we starting your top 10 list for the year? Or what's
I might as well put on my top 10 list. It's the only movie we're
It's
reviewing.
number one.
with a bullet. Number one.
Should I do that? I should, right? That's where we should go with this.
It'd be funny. It'd be funnier if you put it on your list at number 10.
That I've done that. I did that with last year with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I'm pretty sure. All right. Let's take a quick break and do some fan mail.
Send feedback to info@bloodygoodhorror.com or on Twitter using hashtag AskBGH. Join Patreon to get back episodes and much more. Patreon.com/bloodygoodhorror.
It's official, John. As of right now, Night Swim, #1 horror film of 2024.
Stop it.
It's right here on the sheet.
I mean, I believe you. I believe you.
Can't deny the sheet, John.
No. Wouldn't dare. Wouldn't dream of it.
John, we got some news to share. You keep trying to downplay it and like it's not a big deal, but I haven't physically been in the same space as you since pre-pandemic.
Is that true? Yeah, I guess
Yes.
so.
So what? Why don't you give everybody the news?
Oh, well, we decided. So I guess it was after the last. I can't remember. Was it? It was after. Not
We knew
the-
before the year ender, but I forgot to say.
Yeah. Whatever it was, we were talking about upcoming Horror Hound, Cincinnati, March, and we decided that we will be in attendance.
Hell yeah, dude. Do we have the
Casey,
dates? It's
Eric,
like
and myself.
20
I think it's the 21st.
Yeah. So the people have been asking since 2019. Really, well, there was like 2 years in there, John, where they weren't asking because nobody was traveling. But people have been asking when we were gonna be somewhere again that we could do like some kind of meetup. And I think we're all too old and tired to do a meetup like old school style. But this was perfect. We can just piggyback on someone else's event. If people think they're going to make it out, let us know and we can get an idea of how many people might be there. And then we could always set something up, even like just to meet in the space there. So there's a Blair Witch
We get enough, we'll
reunion.
go to Waffle House and start a rumble.
There's a Blair Witch reunion happening that week at the convention, and Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel, and a bunch of other just an incredible
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
a good lineup.
celebrity get there. So yeah,
Are they still doing screenings at this thing? Do they do?
Yeah.
they must. I mean, it's John. I don't think we've been there to a convention together in 10 years.
Well, I mean, I haven't been to a convention. The last convention I went to was a Horror Hound. So that's
And the ones
They
that we
actually-
went to were like they were still early years,
Yeah.
growing and like
They
it's
actually
just,
do
it's
more
huge now.
panels and stuff now too.
nice.
So yeah, let us know. I guess so. It's in Cincinnati. It's towards the end of March. Let us know. Yeah, if you're down.
We're excited.
HorrorHoundWeekend.com. You can get all the deets.
There you go. So John, I think you should leave the show.
Oh,
Not you.
Eric. I mean, look, I'm so excited
Here's what it is.
you've
I started
discovered
getting.
it.
I've always kind of liked that dude, but didn't really. I started seeing clips on Instagram. Just the algorithm.
It's the
they're
most
getting
Instagrammable show on the
they're
planet,
getting more
I feel.
aggressive with their algorithm. So I started seeing clips, whatever.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. You froze for a second.
He's been Mark has been telling me forever to go see it, and so I'm talking to him and I'm like, Mark, is this like the funniest show ever made? Like every clip I see is insane, like just the funniest thing ever. So I go and watch it. It is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I could go on forever. It's so fucking funny.
No, I 100% agree.
Just absurdist and silly, and his characters are like so good.
He's got
My-
a couple awards.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just won the creative Emmy for it. Yeah.
The if I have to pick a favorite, I mean, I can but some favorites. The one where what's his name, Sam? What's the buddy who's on a bunch of the episodes? Who's on Detroiters with him? God damn it!
I
In
haven't
any
seen that
event,
show, but there's a dude that I think you're talking about. That's real funny.
The guy from Werewolves Within. He
Oh, that
does
dude. Yes.
the one where he's time traveling and it's into A Christmas Carol and he finds Scrooge. Like I think about that randomly during the day sometimes and just start cracking up. My second favorite is probably Coffin Flops and Corncob TV, which is being shut down.
So many, but I think my two favorites are when he crashes the hot dog car into the store and he's dressed like a hot dog and tries to pretend it wasn't him. And then he's slowly stealing shirts from the store. And the other one, it's like a short one, but it's when he's playing the egg game, as he's getting yelled at work. And then he like wins the game and they come over and the egg takes his clothes off and he's like, what the hell? Oh my God. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
It's so good. Anyway, that's what I've been watching lately.
it's really good.
I think I have a few episodes. Oh no, I finished it. I finished the third season.
What was the other thing we were talking about pre-show? I can't remember now. It's like feels like a million years
Well,
ago.
you were telling me about the weed show.
that's
how
the
it
high
came
maintenance.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right. We gave up on Twitter because it's a cesspool now. Well, more than it was. I was thinking about that. Like, I used to hate Twitter, like that I used Twitter, but I couldn't stop using it. And then, like, Musk made it so bad, it actually made me stop using it. And I'm actually weirdly grateful for that.
Nice. You should send him like a fruit basket.
Thank you. Casey, what do we got on Threads?
An edible arrangement.
Oh, well, actually, wait. Before we do that, let me do Slack before I forget. So I don't get yelled at again. Okay.
I feel like they're not yelling at you. Like, that's overstating.
No, the one day
emotion.
they were real fired up. All right, first one's from Rachel. How do you feel about deep water? Do you have any creepy water experiences or related stories?
I mean, I had an almost drowning situation when I was like pretty little, like, you know, like it's like one of my like early memories. And then I had another one.
So we have another question later that's about like worst pool stories.
Oh, all right. Well, I can
okay.
wait. I can wait.
Well, how do you feel about deep water in general, though, John? Like,
I feel totally fine with it now.
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, there's like that reptilian part of your brain that's like,
Yes, that's
what's
the way
down
best,
there? I don't know.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
Like, I think I've said this before, but like,
Yeah.
I did a little bit of like, you know, tubing as a kid, like just behind people's boats, and there was nothing scarier to me than sitting in the water and waiting for the boat to come around.
Oh yeah.
Because whatever, even if it's not a big
What
lake,
body
you
of
just-
water were you on?
There's tons of lakes up here.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just curious. Like, if
The
this
one,
was-
and then the biggest one would have been Saranac Lake, which is up near Canada.
Yeah.
It's pretty legit.
Yeah. It all depends on I mean, it's different in natural water versus a pool. Obviously, like a pool, I don't care how deep it is, but natural water, you get that darkness layer, and it's like I don't know what's down there, and that's all my brain thinks.
Do you know
about.
what? But I do like the darkness
Yeah.
better. Like it freaks me out. I'm at the beach and I can see everything because then I can see like the fish and stuff.
See, I don't mind the fish itself, but to see that, if I can see it and I know they're there, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'd
It's
rather
the
pretend they're
unknown.
not.
Yeah, the hard part about lakes for me is the squish as you're getting in, like the
It depends on the lake.
between the
sometimes
toe,
it's real
just
bad.
God knows what that is. Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Oh man. All right.
All right, we got a bunch of threads.
Oh no, we got one more.
Oh, you do have one more. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Levi with an extremely normal question. Whose sweat would you voluntarily swim in? Oh no. just a cool chill question.
Can you say your own? Like, I would be fine with that, I think.
Yeah. Your own brand. That tracks for you, John. That makes sense.
I'm a sweaty guy, so
I was gonna say I'm a
like
pretty hot
swim-
sleeper.
Yeah.
Sleeper. It's pretty nightly occurrence.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow-up question. If you could swim in anything besides water, what would it be?
Beer.
I mean, there's a lot of things I'd probably be
Also,
fine
I was just
with.
thinking you're dealing with different buoyancy, right?
Yeah.
And different liquids.
Yeah, but like a Gatorade. I love a Gatorade.
Yeah.
You would be
know,
so
just-
sticky afterwards, John.
You hose off, I assume.
What flavor of Gatorade are you swimming
Lemon lime. Psh, no question.
in? No, don't even
Yeah,
have to think about
definitely. Yeah.
it. Love it. All right. I don't know if that helped anyone, but Casey, what have we got on threads?
All right, we got a bunch of threads out here this week. First up, we have Jeff Sherman. Now that we have a haunted swimming pool movie, what other house amenities would you like to see haunted and turned into a movie? Maybe like a haunted in-law suite or something like that, and a haunted community mailbox.
This question reminded me that there is a late Amityville direct-to-video sequel where literally it starts with two old ladies at a garage sale buying a lamp from the Amityville house, and it's a haunted lamp.
Nice.
How about a haunted sharing shack? Has
you
that
go.
been? I guess
What
maybe
is a
that's
Yeah.
sharing shack?
that's where Matilda is right
That's
now.
what we call that's what we call the cottage behind our house. I was gonna say, like, what if we're very 2020s and we have a haunted air fryer? Like, what if there's the
Ooh, that could be dangerous. I could see.
It like slightly under fries everything, and it's just
Mine's
really,
haunted, but
Yeah.
it's mostly just because I need to clean it.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to go for real scary, like a haunted lawnmower, it'd be pretty terrifying chasing you around the yard.
I was thinking about haunted lawnmower.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. Okay.
yeah.
Next up, we got Popcorn Designs. I heard this movie sucks. What else do you think sucks?
Protest.
I think it sucks when it's like 38 degrees and raining. That's like my least favorite weather.
Yeah, I agree. The rain just hurts.
It's windy. It just don't even get me started. This is what I've been dealing with this week.
Next up, okay, this is a question from the drummer from Foghat. This is a repeat from our lost Satanic Hispanics episode. He says, okay, I asked this for Satanic Hispanics, but I need to know. Eric, when I first discovered the show around 2010, I swear I heard you say you had a crone that appeared in a lot of your photos as a kid. Did this happen? Sorry for potential relived trauma. And please
I think I told that story last week, didn't I?
No, it was on the Satanic Hispanics episode.
It's on the lost episode.
Lost to the world.
Oh, how funny. Yeah. So I had this. I don't want to tell the whole story again. Yes, I saw the crone once when I was a child, and then read that as an adult and was like, "Oh, that's cool, awesome." And I don't really, you know me, I'm not like I don't really like believe in that kind of stuff, but it definitely freaked me out.
You don't believe in crones, like generally?
No, like
because I've seen some.
I'm right here.
Wow, John.
Yo. Come on, don't put that on me.
Next one, we got from a new threader, more of a statement than a question, but ancient Native American swimming pool? I bet it's an ancient Native American swimming pool. Someone call Craig. I'm not sure who Craig is. But...
Craig T. Nelson, right?
Yeah.
From
Coach.
Poltergeist. That would be that.
Poltergeist. There you go. See,
there you go. That makes
Poltergeist.
sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Cal and Knott. In what real-life situations, for example, someone suggests a walk in the woods at night or a swim at an abandoned summer camp, do you just say nope and get out of there?
Oh, I'm not walking in the woods at night. Are you high? I have astigmatism, Casey.
Oh, I could... I'm fine with the woods at night.
Hell no.
It's better if you are high, actually.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Yeah, honestly, we used to do night hikes with the Girl Scout troop.
I'm not 16 and trying to find a party in the woods. There's no reason for me to be in the woods in the dark.
I don't know.
There was
happened to me
a
once.
high school.
We went to this place. We tried to find the party. We couldn't find it. And when we went to leave, a cop pulled up and would not believe us that we couldn't find the party. We're just like, no, I don't know where it is. You're lucky I'm here right now and not lost in the woods.
All right. Next
When
up
I was
we
a kid, there was a thing. There was a local high school that my mother was pretty invested in me going to, where they would leave you out in the wilderness for 2 days and you had to camp by yourself, like not with any other kids, just by yourself.
What?
And I did not go to that high school for that reason.
I did that. I did that in college.
It's not for me.
I did a 48-hour over. Yeah, it was one. It was only one night, but they dropped you off at like 9 a.m. and they picked you up the following day, sort of like midday. So it was like 36 hours or so, maybe.
Yeah, it's not for me.
My dad was a little rednecky when I was growing up. That's not too new to me. All right, another more of a statement than a question, but you can put a boat in a swimming pool. Do you know what you could put in a boat? A Dracula. That's from Grand
true.
Old Pukers.
It's true. I saw that movie.
And finally, we have from Metal Prof. You're swimming in the ocean at night and you feel something below brush against your toes. What's the best and worst thing it could be? And yes, Eric, like the drummer from Foghat says, please don't forget to hit record.
I did hit record tonight. Thank you.
Yes,
whoever
we're
it
good.
was.
He's been good for a couple weeks, so don't worry.
I mean, is there a best case scenario? Like, the worst case is it's a fucking whale or a shark, you know?
Yeah.
I think shark is worse than whale, John.
I mean,
honestly.
objectively, yes.
A whale
but
could
whales,
definitely
like,
still eat you, but they're not quite. I mean, I don't know.
Well, whale could just like accidentally fuck your day up, is what I would worry
Yeah.
about.
Just
you know?
swimming by, just you're
Yeah.
dead. Yeah.
From the stories I've read, like news stories online I've read, maybe a dolphin would be bad.
They can be nasty. They can
I've
be a
heard,
little.
yeah.
They're a little rapey.
Yeah, even jellyfish is not good. Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be quite bad too.
The only thing I could think of good is if it's like some kind of Austin Powers type submarine, and all of a sudden, they lift you up out of the water and say, "Hey, this is yours. You're a millionaire."
You know what's always freaked me out? I've never seen one in real life, but the Portuguese man of war
Yeah.
looks like an alien, and it really freaks me out.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
they sting you
imagine-
too?
Yeah, they're poisonous. Yeah.
I think
Googling.
the best case scenario is it's like $100 bill that's just floating through the water and rubs up against your foot. Like I don't need a submarine.
treasure.
Like I don't keep the submarine. Just $100 bill is fine. So
Yeah, or somebody's like bale of, like a dealer's bale of weed or something that they had to ditch, right? That's like all it could be is something like this.
it might be a little wet if it's floating by your foot. But
Not
maybe
if they wrapped it properly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what's funny? John texted me to ask me if I wanted to answer the crone question again, but I didn't get it because I have that thread muted from New Year's Eve.
No, that was Casey.
No, that was me.
That was Casey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have it muted from New Year's Eve, thank God, because you guys were texting at midnight when I was not awake.
Oh, I was asleep by midnight. But please, but
All right, is that it for threads?
That is it.
Sorry, stand by. Side note, John, related. I'm gonna be on Plug It Up soon. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know how long Caitlin banks episodes for, but we're gonna record tomorrow night, and we're gonna be talking about May,
nice.
Yay.
one of my favorites. My first time
Classic.
That's a good
OG.
one.
Plug It Up. First up, who's excited for the new Toxic Avenger movie?
Yes.
Is
guess,
there a
dude, I
trailer?
There's
I
a
think there was a
teaser.
teaser. Yeah, that looked
I
interesting.
think I have seen the teaser now that you say that. Yeah.
It looks pretty kooky. I'm excited. Peter Dinklage as Toxie is. I think it
good.
sounds amazing. And
it's
Elijah
good.
Wood in the teaser looked pretty great too.
I do, and I am pretty down for anything Elijah Wood does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Polly Muller says, "Do you like the REM song Night Swimming?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
good.
know that song.
Yeah.
Did you guys clock? There was a Luden Wainwright song. I think
Yeah.
it's called Swimming Pool. That was in there. It was like right in the beginning. Like that song.
His Eyes says, "Any films you're looking forward to for 2024?"
Oh, I was thinking because we had talked about doing, or did we end up doing that on the year ender with Rachel? I can't even remember. It was a
No,
long
I don't think we
episode.
did.
I got the first Omen trailer, which I had not seen before. I'm going on record to say it is an excellent trailer.
It's an excellent trailer. So here's the problem: is it's such a stylized trailer that it could just be a piece of trash, and they just
I-
like that
Yeah.
editor should get an award because it's.
I was like, what is happening with this trailer? And then it was like first Omen. And I'm like, what?
Because here's the thing: the first thing to look for is like, and people hate on the trope of the like slowed down pop song, and I know sometimes it's overdone. If it works, it's really cool.
If it's good, it's good.
But the
It was
first one
good.
that burned me on that, I remember specifically, is that movie with Sebastian Stan. It was like really trippy, and it's got our girl from X in it. What was that movie?
Sebastian Stan.
The
and,
one with the
And Mia
cannibal
Goth?
delivery service.
Mia Goth is in it, yeah. What? Oh, god damn it, guys. You're going to make me Google this now.
Was it Hungry? Was that the name of
Maybe
it?
Not
Sebastian
Fresh.
Stan wasn't in it. It's the one where
Yeah.
she's like kept away. It's the old-timey insane asylum or whatever, or like
Oh,
the guy goes there to investigate, and it's like a wellness place, but it's really weird cult.
Oh, A
It's like-
Cure for Wellness.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. Yes, A Cure for Wellness.
Oh,
I actually
that
didn't see
trailer,
that, but
that trailer
I remember the
used
trailer.
a slowed down version of I Want to Be Sedated. It was one of the first times I remember seeing that, and it was a really cool trailer, and the movie is just nothing like that whatsoever.
this I had not seen. I literally didn't know anything about the First Omen other than there was a movie coming called The First Omen, and
The trailer, I will give you that. Yeah, the
It's
trailer's
quite
good, but
good.
I was similarly suspicious for sure.
let me tell you about the trailer I saw today that I am now like real nervous about. Imaginary.
What's that?
oh yeah.
It's like the Imaginary Friend movie from Blumhouse, and it's got like a teddy bear in it. It was one of the trailers where you've seen the
Horror?
whole movie when they show it to you. Yeah. It's like imagine. Hey, remember Imaginary Friends? What if they were evil? Like that's the premise, and it does not look very good. I mean,
Are
look,
we-
reserving rights for it to be okay, but they show you the entire movie in the trailer.
Speaking
I
of
hate.
Blumhouse, are we getting Megan 2 this year?
No,
No.
not that I've heard.
No, Maxine is obviously like the big one to look forward to. Civil War,
Really
we've
looking forward
discussed.
to Civil War. That looks incredible.
I wouldn't say
got-
I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to be
Funny thing
good.
to say.
I got the trailer before Night Swim for ISS, which is more thriller than a horror movie, but I'm pretty jazzed for that. That's
Oh yeah, that's in 2 weeks too. I
Yeah.
think we're probably going to cover it. I hope, but
Civil
that
War
looks
is
really good.
April
that's some good
26th.
sci-fi tropes right there.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'll be honest, I wouldn't say I'm like rabidly excited, but I'm pretty stoked for Lisa Frankenstein. I think it looks a blast.
Yeah,
I am too.
I'm down for it.
I like her as a writer.
Yeah. And I can't think of her name, but the girl that plays the lead in Lisa Frankenstein, and we've seen her movies before, but she's great too, and I think she looks like a great fit in the trailer for this.
So, John, this is why I love the BGH community, because I was talking about that Amityville movie earlier. And Joe over on Slack ran over to his DVD collection to take a picture of it to send to us. He has the whole Amityville collection, so.
He didn't. It wasn't just that one.
Oh, no, it's a box set.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would you buy just one, John?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your best or worst memory that you have with a pool?
Pool memory.
Mine
Maybe
was being in vacation to Florida when I was a kid and throwing up after eating a hot dog. Like
the
probably because I was
worst
doing that
memory?
little. It was real. Dude, I was 5 and I could clear as day, so that clearly was not a pleasant memory. It was one of those things where you're like a kid and you're in a vest or something and you're just sucking down too much water and just like made myself sick.
In the
Maybe
pool.
I've talked
Like
about
threw up in the pool.
Throwing up in a pool is not good.
That's what I'm
just-
saying.
Well, it's very hard to clean. Is
Yeah.
the problem. Like, I mean, there's I was a lifeguard for several years in high school, both indoor pool and outdoor pool, and so like there's a lot of like nasty
Tell me a
cleaning
nasty
pool
pool
situations
story,
that I
John.
can get into. No, I was gonna. Mine was, and maybe I've mentioned this on the show, but we had a house fire when I was young. Like I think I was in like 5th grade, and so we had to relocate for basically like 9 months. I mean, the house got like real fucked up. It was like a real deal fire, and the rental that we moved into had a pool. So there was like one glorious summer
Like
when
a haunted artisanal pool?
no,
perhaps?
it was just like a normal ass like pool with a diving board, and I fucking swam every day, and it was incredible.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I mean, I love swimming.
a lot.
Yeah. I have one from when I was a kid, which is probably both my best and my worst. We had a pool when I was a kid because I grew up in California, and it was before they made you. Now they make you like put a fence around the pool, I think, as part
A
of it
lot
if you
of
have kids in
states,
the
yeah, you
house.
have to
But
have a fence.
Yeah.
but you don't have to. You didn't have to do that at the time. And my mom worked for the phone company and they gave out these little electric cars that you could that were kid sized. And so I drove this thing. They gave me swim lessons. I was terrified to put my face in the water, and I was out there, only child Matilda, driving this car and drove it into the deep end
Oh, God.
and I sunk like a stone in the car.
Yeah, well, I can
And I
guess
swam out.
why.
And I swam out. But, like the one thing that was pretty effective when you talk about the shot in this movie that's the way far away pool way up there, I was like, oh yeah, that's about what it felt like when I was tiny and I sunk to the bottom of the deep end. But that's how I learned to swim, was I drove the little car in there.
I bet that car was
Probably terrifying for my mom. Yeah, the car was really messed up. It was like a little Pacific Telesis repair truck that I drove around the backyard. So.
cool.
We had a little pond. It was on my road. We were just like outside of city limits, but there was a little pond that was you buy like a membership and you could go there. It had a little beach, super tiny. They and it had a pier. There was like middle school area. We were, me and my friends were always there. We were doing what we called sailor dives. We're off the end of the pier where you dive in without your hands at first. Going in
Very
head
familiar
first.
with the sailor dive.
Very first time I tried it, I went in and went straight down and landed straight on my head on the bottom and hit it hard enough where I was like frozen for like 30 seconds. I kind of bobbed up and couldn't yell. I was just kind of yelling and I was like, and the lifeguard saw me, and then by the time he got me out of the water, I was fine.
Dude, people like fucking die doing that stuff.
I know. It was terrifying at the time. It didn't slow me down though. It didn't make me afraid of the water or anything, but
Boy. Yikes.
Love it. 2 more questions, John. First one, question of our generation. Who is thicker, the Marco Polo demon guy or Godzilla?
Oh, what was that?
That guy was pretty thick. Not in like a gray way, though. Godzilla's
No.
good thick.
Godzilla, you celebrate the thickness.
There's muscle there.
Yes. That was more like bloat. It was like water bloat. Just
Right. It was more like a bloated corpse situation.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
Oh, by the way, quick Godzilla aside. Can I give it a Godzilla aside?
Sure.
This weekend, when the weather was horror show, we were like, fuck it, we're not going outside. I showed my kids the original Godzilla. First
that
time they'd
go?
ever seen a...
No
they
way
had
my
never
kids would have
seen...
made it through that.
Well, they'd never even seen a foreign language movie, like a movie with subtitles. Sat and watched the whole thing. I was blown away.
thanks.
It was really good. It was better than I was expecting. I had never seen it. So,
When Delaney was little, we used to watch Godzilla because they were always rated G, and we had that Monsters HD that was on Dish Satellite at the time.
yeah.
So her and I would watch Godzilla and Gamera all the time. And there was one time I come home from work and she was in kindergarten, and Colleen's like, "You need to see what your daughter drew in art." And I was thinking, "Oh Lord, what is it?" And Colleen handed me the picture Delaney drew in kindergarten. It was a picture of Gamera.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I dig.
All right. Last, well, I guess 2 questions. I don't. Does anybody actually do this? What were your New Year's resolutions? Like, is that a real thing people do?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, some people do, but I made a doctor's appointment, actually. So,
That was your New Year's resolution? Go to the
well,
doctor?
my like foot's been bothering me, and I was like, I need to just stop being an a-hole and go to a doctor. So, it wasn't a resolution
New
necessarily,
year, new
but
foot.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what? It's about time.
Yeah.
So,
in the same vein, I never stopped and said, "I resolve I'm not going to do this." But I haven't had Diet Coke since the New Year, so
Go you.
I'm enjoying it.
there you go. Okay.
Okay. Last question. Is this a better pool-based movie than Swim Fan? How about The Color of Money?
Oh.
I don't even know what that... I've never seen either of those, actually.
Well, Color of Money is like
haven't
from 91 or something. It's like pretty
Yeah,
old.
that's pretty old.
I have
And
never
I've
seen
s-
Swim Fan either.
I don't think I've seen Swim Fan.
Yeah, I
either.
haven't seen
I
Swim
know
Fan.
it, but
Yeah, I'm familiar. I saw Color of Money, but like that was like a movie I saw on HBO when I was, 13 or something.
when you were not supposed to be watching it.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think it's like that.
Yeah, this made me think-
bad.
No, it isn't.
This made me think more about Poltergeist, like John, you were talking about earlier with all of those scenes.
Yeah. There's a pool in Poltergeist too.
Yeah, but it's like pool-based
Oh, yeah,
movies
terrifying.
is a pretty short list. Like,
Oh Lord, that's an '86
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, 86. I just looking. I saw that, Casey. Yeah. It's older than I remembered.
all right. Do we know what's up next week?
No, we got an open week next week, so we're gonna have to talk about some stuff. And then ISS that Casey was mentioning comes out the week after that.
What's ISS? Oh, that's the space station thing where they're like,
Yeah.
fighting. That could
Yeah.
be kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the last space station movie a couple of years ago, that alien thing with Ryan Reynolds? That was sweet. What was that called?
Wait, are you talking about the Cloverfield paradox? Whatever the fuck?
No. There was a space station movie with like Ryan Reynolds and a couple other
Yeah.
handsome dudes, and they
They
like,
had gooey.
Jake
alien
Gyllenhaal
that
was
got
in it.
loose.
and they like discover a life form, and they've got to quarantine it. And then it gets
Oh,
loose on
it's
the
called.
ship.
It was called Life. yeah,
Life.
that movie's
So,
okay. I think
sweet.
I might not have loved it as much, but I do remember it now. Remember when Ryan Reynolds was like making movies like that?
Yeah.
Now he just owns soccer.
Ryan
teams
Reynolds
and-
was the star of our other Lost Forever episode on Buried Alive.
Buried, I believe it's called.
Buried, that's
Buried.
right. That happened so long ago. It was on my Mac. from, like-
We also lost Europa Report, didn't we? Or that's one you
no,
neglected
I
to post.
refused to put a Europa Report out because our
Yeah.
show. That was the only
was too
time
sleepy.
we've ever done a show, and I was like, "This was terrible."
Yeah,
Like
I
I've had
remember
shows that were like, "Nah, we've done better," but it's fine.
For
We-
the
we-
record, I
we
was not
finished
on that Europa Report episode.
We finished that show, and I was like, "This can't. The public cannot hear this."
it was a zero energy show.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like a
What
dry
happens?
documentary, basically the movie. Anyway, cool. So we don't know what's next week. Is that the moral of that story?
No, we don't. We should have a conversation. We should also look. I'm sure there's like some Shutter stuff we've missed, so we can.
Destroy All Neighbors comes out on Friday on Shudder with Jonah Ray and Alex.
Casey's been
I've been-
stomping for it real
Winter. I'm
hard.
plugging
so,
for it.
Yeah.
This reminds me, John. Might as well put you on the spot here. Our listener Natasha would like to know if you can please put Poor Things on the 2024 movie list, since she's in the UK and didn't get it until
Yeah.
2024.
No, that's a hard no. I'm sorry.
Oh.
We're, you know, Natasha,
I knew
good.
that was the answer, but
love you.
I figured.
love
I
ya.
wanted to-
You can celebrate it in 2024. I will continue to celebrate in 2024. But for purposes of BGH voting, we can't.
I figured I'd let you let her down. And then I'll
yeah, no, it's a fair question.
I still haven't seen it yet, unfortunately, but I did watch the first episode of Emma Stone's The Curse, and I don't know.
Oh, I
if
heard that's
got
good.
It.
I really
I
want
wish
to
it
watch
wasn't
it.
on
that?
Showtime, dude.
It's
any-
it's Nathan Fielder.
Any
Yeah.
way I might get that show, legal or
Yeah.
otherwise, is a pain in the ass. Like, I hate Showtime. I'm not paying for another thing.
Let's talk about your options after the
Fine.
show.
Yeah, there's options.
But it does look amazing. I saw the trailer. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
Especially
I'd
after
like to
Poor
watch it.
Things. Like, I kind of
Yeah.
want to see anything she's in.
I watched the
I-
first one. I didn't necessarily get it, but I think it has potential to be something kooky and weird.
Well, I think
Is-
it goes like very hard off the rails.
Is
Yeah.
Emma Stone in her Elijah Wood era, John? That's what I would posit to
possible?
you.
I mean, it's Nathan Fielder and one of the Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
Like they're all crazy. I mean, Emma Stone's the least crazy of the three of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, Joe Ferry says The Color of Money is Scorsese. I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go.
I should
Okay.
see that one, I guess. All right.
All right,
that's gonna
guys.
Do it for the show.
Right.
I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.